All right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Thursday, Friday Eve. All right, let's get to it. I know to yesterday I wasn't live, but I was in a swing position, something I was not supposed to be in. But had to go ahead and make that play. I I'll go ahead if I got time today. I'll break that down in terms of what happened yesterday and how I ended up in the position I ended up in. But I came out on top still, so that's good. It was a bad trade that I took on Tuesday. Had to swing it till yesterday to then sell it. Was in the profit after that, but it was a terrible trade. And if I would have taken things the other way around, then I would have been in a better position. But nonetheless, I'm back, and I would not be making that mistake twice. So, all right. So I already got some stocks I'm gonna be watching today. That's Tesla, Hood. I might take a look at Roku, Nvidia, POTR, AMD. All right, those are some hitters that I will be paying attention to. All right. So let's start with mapping out Robinhood. Robinhood had earnings yesterday. All right. We can see here from the daily chart, I got this purple level at 130.06. You can see this is where we broke out from and eventually made it to all-time highs. So this was a resistance. We pulled back. Once we pulled back, we pushed right through this candle right here and got to all-time highs, which is 153.86. Okay. I also got a level here at 150 at 150.52 because you can see we pulled back. We wanted to test all-time highs again, but we faced rejection at 150.52 and then fell down, and then a retest began at 130 at 135.49. Right, or just in this zone. Okay. So as always, we're gonna go with the higher time frame, and this is the monthly. And you can see here that we got this full engulfing candle back in the month of September, and then October came. We was a little bit indecisive on a direction. Oh well, we was indecisive because this is an indecision candle. Forgive me because I think I'm coming down with something. Alrighty, yeah, like the weather is changing on my side of town, so I think I may be coming down with like a little small little cough or something like that. But nonetheless, um, we got this indecision candle. We then moved up to 153.86, to that all-time high, and down. And now in November, we do have this red candle. We do have some buyers that are here, but selling is starting to show itself. Okay. Next up, let's see on the weekly chart. We got this engulfing candle that went ahead and pushed up. Then we opened up higher right here at 153, but sold off and had two sell-off the weeks on Hood. We picked back up around the week of 1024. Price got moved higher. We wanted to retest, and now you see that resistance that came in at 150.52. And we sold off again, but buyers are still pushing the price up. So we might get a break above 153. There's a chance of that. Just how it looks because we're above the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 200. So we are above moving averages. So I do think price action could probably want to test higher and move higher. All right. I'm not sure about the news around it. I didn't check the earnings and stuff like that, but we're gonna see that once I check the catalyst around it and see what's going on there. All right. Same thing for the monthly, above all moving averages. Okay. All right. And then now when we go to the daily, we even got targets up here, as far as 159 and 160. So let's go ahead and mark this. Today it can. It's not like it can't. Sometimes you get those freakish days where price wants to go ahead and exceed expectations. So like I said, I think the bull case is still very much intact. Even though we are getting pullbacks, just pullbacks are warranted. I know people are looking for market sell-offs. We're at high valuations, and yeah, we are. But up until there's evidence that this thing wants to turn around, the market is probably just going to continue upward from there. All right. So going back to it. So this is the daily chart right here. You can see here with hood on the daily, we gapped up. There was some resistance right here. Just look at the wicks right here. Then we ended up falling, but then we do have this prior resistance area that's now turning into a support area, and then we're pushing price higher. Currently, pre-market is trading between the highs and lows of yesterday's activity. Okay. Let's go to the 4 hour chart and let's see if we find any important areas to identify. All right. Uh, let's just start with the moving averages, right? Right now, when we're looking at Hood is trading above VWAP, above the 50, 920, and 200. So it's trading above all moving averages. Okay, and we do have these wicks here. If we just look at yesterday's activity, even after hours activity, we do have push up where these wicks are basically pushing price action up. You can see here we got these two red candles, but outside of these two red, we have a lot of buyers that are present that would like to possibly push price higher into this 150 zone. This 150 zone is some key resistance. Just look how many touch points we have here. So just go ahead and let's look at this, right? Boom, boom. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. All right. So just look here at what's going on with Hood, right? You see here that we got this resistance came up, rejected, came here, rejected, came there, rejected, then sold off down here. Then we popped up, and then I'm even in this zone, right? I want to give it to the high of this zone. We came up. This whole point right here is just strictly rejection. So we would like to see if this thing would like to test this zone, and if it does, test it. Can it break out of it and even head higher? All right. I like the fact that we are above the moving averages. We do have this zone here, so this is pretty cool that we could possibly go ahead and test that. I'm gonna take a look at the order book to see if this is even a possibility for today. But this is nice to identify in terms of a zone that is showing some resistance. Okay. Then now let's go to the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, I'm able to find levels a little bit more identifiable. You can see here that we had some support on these days, on these wicks in the after hours jump to yesterday. But how important are these levels, right? So let's see where they're at. I'm gonna draw a little box here because you can see here we bounced and this was pretty strong. So I think this would be important to identify. Boom. All right. Boom. So you can see here we caught this bounce right off of this price area of 138. You can see here how we got many touch points, but price just continued to bounce up from here, and then we even got historical history that even as low as 137 that we went ahead and bounced from there. I may be even able to extend this box a little bit, and let's see how well of support this thing is. And we had some decent support because we came here. Yep, and you can see the almost right to the because I thought this was a wick down below, but nonetheless, we went ahead and bought through this zone. You can see this little buy candle coming from this zone heading higher as well. All right, let's test some more data. This was once resistance, and now this resistance area is becoming some support. So okay, there I see that. I don't think I have to go ahead and date this far back. Yeah, but we can see some resistance that was here. So this resistance has now turned to support. Just look right here. We fell a tad bit. We came up close to it, but fell, came up here again, fell, and now we're above here and we're holding. All right, above here, holding, pushing price higher. We ended up slipping through the cracks right there, but nonetheless, right from this point, held and pushed higher. And then we have our resistance points right here, as I found on the 4 hour chart, where you come up here, start to get some resistance. We got here, failed, got there, failed. All right, let me put this to the T. Oh, it's fine. I'll leave it alone. failed. We went ahead and broke through, but got back inside here with some resistance, and you can clearly see that because even after the breakout, we came back in here, failed again, even pushed all the way through the 200, and then once we fell to this S2 level, a little bit of slippage here, and then we came out to back up, uh, push back down, and then we started to show some buy action right in my here. And this was even at one point some resistance, but it wasn't strong enough resistance to continue price lower. All right, we even have like a little bit of a triple top right here. Well, a double top right here, and I might identify this because this looks really key to go ahead and identify. Um, let's see right here. This won't be as important to me, but let me see. Yeah, because this is about yesterday's high. Yeah, we even got some resistance right here because you can see we sold off there, sold off here again. So this would be interesting to see. I don't want this to affect my day so much. I'm gonna make that a little gray um, because I think the real resistance is up there, obviously. All right. Alrighty. So when I see Hood, we got this rejection and fell off. I know it might be hard to see this gray box, but I'm making it gray just so I'm not, keen on it. I mark it open. Then you can see here again. We got here again 2 days ago, fell. Then yesterday we got here again in this zone. Ended up falling again, coming back down, but holding on to this support. So we know we're kind of in this channel on Hood. We just don't know which direction this thing wants to go. All right, but Hood is definitely something. It's definitely something that I like. It's definitely something I will be watching today on the 15-minute chart. Clear resistance right here at least, because I do think this may be far fetched for it to get to 148. It could very well still get there because it's showing that we could probably push higher to this 145. It's not like it's impossible. Let's go ahead and mark this on the 15 just to make sure we catch this. And if I see that price on the 5 minute, I'm going to delete that yellow line. But nonetheless, this is some resistance. We got some support, and we want to see where this thing would like to go. All right. Let's see. This is the 5 minute chart. Yeah, I have a level literally right here. So let's go ahead and remove this because I don't need it. I got a pivot level right there at 145. You don't want to overload your chart, even though my chart does look overloaded, so I don't want to overload it any more than what it is. Um, I think I've said this before. A lot of people have different ways on how they, see the markets. So just find your way that you see it and lock in on that. Don't try to emulate everybody else because there's some people out there that say, "Oh, I like cleaning charts like this." My chart is filled with a lot of enough information. But it's information that I understand, and some of the information here I've trained myself and learned to not really pay attention to it, not really care for it. Only care for it when I need to. All right, but if you have a lot of indicators and you lean on all your indicators, then you know that could be a bit much. So if you guys notice on my charts, right, my 9 and 20 and my 50 are white and gray. The reason why they're white and gray is because those are neutral colors where I'm not really focused on them too much, but I keep my VWAP and my 200 clearly identified because I do lean on these. I do lean on that. The reason why my pre-market levels are white because they're always change, and it's just for me to identify what is the pre-market high and pre-market low. All right. When I do red for yesterday's high, I do that because red just lets me know that that is previous day's resistance. Just red is just like the stop sign. Blue, just the go sign. This is an area of support where we might go ahead and push price higher. So the way I look at this is not. I'm not leaning on everything that I put here so heavily, but I'm looking at this right here at this box. This is just like, hey, this is just some support. We don't want to, lock in too much to be like, oh my gosh, this is support. I have to go ahead and buy here. Maybe so, but price action needs to show that. The same thing for this gray box, right? I clearly said this is just gray because, I don't want to lean too much, but I see that there's resistance. Will it play a factor? I don't want to go ahead and say, oh my gosh, like it's great. I put a box there. I have to short it there. I don't have to, but I need to be able to identify. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me answer this call. Brody, what's good with you? I just saw your comment, man. Morning, rise and shine, rise and grind. You know what I mean? Let's get to it today, man. Let's get to it today. So Hood is definitely gonna be on my list today for sure, for sure. I like it. On the 5 minute, we are getting a rollover on the 920 EMAs, but we are still above VWAP, still above 50, still above the 200. So we do need to watch this rollover and see if this thing is gonna, end up pushing down. Yeah, and see what's gonna happen there. I do think. Well, let me not go any assumptions. I think as traders, we always have to stay on the fence in terms of what we say is going to happen. We never know what's going to happen. We just have a little edge. I think when we are seeing a rollover, it could lead to some downside activity where we can sell off because Hood provided news to yesterday, so this could be a sell the news event, and we could end up pushing price down to around this zone, to around this purple zone, and getting to S1, basically going from pivoting R levels to S levels, right? So this thing could go ahead and sell off, but we have to wait and see because we're still above VWAP 50 and 200, so we're gonna lean more towards the buy side, but we need to pay attention to the shorts that could come in based off of price action rolling over the 9 and 20 EMAs. All right. Looking at, let's go to the 4 hour chart. I think I mentioned this earlier. Yep, on the 4 hour, we are above all moving averages: VWAP 50, 920, and 200. All right. We even have some support right down here. So it's something to identify. Okay. So boom. If we got some levels of contact this thing can hit, man. Even this 152 level. Let's go ahead and mark this. Well, I'm going to mark this 151 first because I see that. All right. And then 152 just might be inevitable at that point. All right. We got the 1 hour chart. Let's see the 1 hour. The 1 hour, we are above the 200, above VWAP, above 920 and 50 EMAs. Nice. But remember, we got some resistance right here. The thing about this that's nice is that if we do break through this resistance, this thing could head higher. But we have to watch out for this 145.75, right? Because there's a pivot level, and I'm going to highlight this. I know I have a 145 on my 5 minute chart, but the fact that it's on the 1 hour, we could get some pullbacks off of the 1 hour where maybe you want to take some profits if there's a good entry. If there's a good entry, then we can add to that position on the pullback. Once that trade is green or showing steady greenness, we can see if we can get that break and then probably test it and move price to 150. All right. This thing, it doesn't look like it wants to go short on the chart. It seems like we got some decent support here, but unsure. As always, we need to check the order book, and we just have to wait to market open. All right. So the 1 hour above moving averages is just on the 5 minute. We are getting a rollover, and you can see we are starting to fall below VWAP and stuff like that. So let's see if this sustains itself. I did put the high volume level there. That high volume level on my chart is always orange, and we can see here the highest volume candle is 200 shares traded right here at this candle, and we're trading above this high volume level, so price can continue to, possibly push higher. All right. So let's check the order books. We can see here on the Weeble platform, we do have a lot more sellers. You see this graph, there's a lot more sellers in play. We do have some large orders, 2,000 lot size, 2,000 lot size, 2,000 lot size, just of sellers there. And then looking at the 142.80, 2,000 lot size, 143, 2,000 lot size, 143 again, 2,000 lot size. So you got to think that, ooh, man, we got a lot size at 30,000. Okay, let's write that down. We got 30,000 lot size at 144. Yeah, I want to make sure I go ahead and identify that. That's a big order right here. So the thing about this is that when you have an axe price at 144 and that's a large seller, price could eventually push up to those orders. And if the bids, want that, they will go ahead and meet those ask price, and that could actually move price higher. But if the bids do not continue to, basically smoke that order, smoke this 30K order, then it will sell off because that means that the buyers is just, they're like, I don't want to get it for any more of a higher price than what that is. So that could lead to a even more downside because now we're seeing a strong candle down. Now we're breaking the 50. So for sure, this thing could go short too. That's why it's important to read the order book and see what's going on. On the bid side, we do have 2,000 lot size, 2,000 lot size, 2,000 lot size, but you see we don't have any large orders on the buy side, similar to that sell side. So it's something to watch out for. All right. Looking at my other order book, we do have more sellers in play. I am seeing that. I am seeing that there are more sellers in play on the order book. And let me extend this a little bit. All right. Yeah. We still got a strong seller at 144 as well. No buyers. I don't see any buyers at all. So I watch out for this. I watch out because these buyers can't come out of nowhere. So I definitely go ahead and watch out for that. Give me one moment. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay, cool. I like Hood. Let's check some news around the Hood. Robinhood markets price target to 135 from 121. So somebody's basically saying that price is going to come down to 121, and they're raising their price target to 131 from 121. Okay. I really don't like to listen to market upgrades and downgrades. It helps, but not really. Robinhood is maintained. Okay. Let's see. Robinhood on the market. Da, 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 da. Trump terrorists are on the block. Axing them would have unexpected market consequences and have five other things to know. Analysis have analysis analysis have conflicting sentiments on these financial companies, Allstate, Brown, and Robinhood. So we got some people who are neutral. They're a bit unsure of Robinhood, not sure what Robinhood said yesterday on the earnings call. Robinhood market shares down 1.5 pre-market after CEO raises forecast for 2025 adjusted operating expenses. So I guess there's going to be some expenses there. And look, we have another large sell order at 16,000 at 141. So we got to watch out today, man. We might get some sell action on Hood, but this could just be a pullback too, just for a higher move up, right? So we're gonna take it easy on the size, and that's basically what happened to me on Tuesday. Was that I went heavy size on POTR, got smoked the whole entire day, but to make my profits back the next day. That was crazy. Something I do not want to do, but but you know how to read charts. You could take chances like that. Uh, but that's going to lead me today to be really careful when it comes to my contract size. All right. Robinhood shares. Okay. Kathy Wood buys the dip in Pinterest, sells Roku, and Robinhood stocks. Okay. Kathy Wood is always doing something. Closing bell. Qualcomm down 3%. Robinhood slips 2%. All right, 1 second. Yeah, I don't want to cough on the mic or clear my throat. All right. So I'm not really seeing too much news on what happened when it comes to Robinhood earnings. Robinhood earnings are intimate. The most, let's see. Analysis expects San Francisco. Well, okay, no. Yeah, they're not really saying much about Rob. A lot of the times, these earnings calls is just information in terms of what their numbers and beats are. What really moves the stock is their forward guidance, and I don't think they got much room because there is some speculation around this being a little bit overvalued at this point. But we see. Nonetheless, it's gonna be a mover today. So let's go ahead and put Hood on the list. All right. So we got Robin Hood. Next up, all right. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Got to be transparent when it comes to this game, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, trading ain't easy. Like shit, I'm making some money, but it doesn't come with it doesn't come without pain. And I will say, take breaks, man. Like to yesterday, I didn't trade because I was in that position. So I actually have a fresh mindset today, and when you trade every day, man, you kind of get just burnt out because you got to think all this analysis. And once market opens, this takes a lot of brain power. Sometimes after I'm done trading, like I'm shot for like a good 3 hours. Like I can't think. I don't want to do nothing because this is a lot of information to indulge. Looking at the level two, looking at the order book, watching the candles, seeing the price action, making good entry, adding in the orders, taking it to targets. It's a lot. It's a lot. So definitely take breaks, man. And I'm even trying to teach myself that. Every day is not a day to make money. Sometimes not not having a position is having a position. You know what I mean? Don't put all your soldiers out there. And I'm saying that for myself too. I'm definitely saying that for myself. So, all right, Hood is a solid one. Hood is a solid one. We're gonna keep Hood, and I'm trying to. There was something else I wanted to do. Let's see. All right, that's cool though. I think we're good. Next stock. Let's look at. I'm thinking about Tesla today. Tesla is on the scanners on for the Weeble platform, but I really did like Nvidia. Nvidia's sell off and later on in the day was nice. That was nice. And I'm interested in this. I'm really, really interested in this now. So let's definitely take a look at Nvidia for sure. And I'll come back to Tesla. I'll come back to this one. I think Tesla will also be a phenomenal trade. I think Tesla, if it does go short, it's gonna be an amazing short. But Tesla yesterday was crazy. Tesla went up $26. Like that's nuts. Like completely insane. Um, I don't know where Tesla's next, move is gonna be at this point. I mean, are we gonna get to 500? Seems like we will. But Tesla is on a all right tear. But I think, I think Nvidia may be something good for me to watch. PLTR, I would like to trade PLTR. But my issue with PLTR is that this thing is like the wild, wild west, man. Like I never liked trading it. So some other people may find it a little bit easier to trade, but me personally, I don't like PLTR. Personally, I don't. And you can tell ever since this sell-off for earnings, we're just in this consolidation. Just look at this. Just look at this 5 minute chart. We're just in this channel, so you get caught up in a lot of chop there. It's kind of almost the same. Well, not really. I was gonna say it's almost the same case when it comes to Nvidia, but not really. Um, let's see. What about Tesla? Tesla looks really good. Looks really, really good. I'm gonna watch Tesla for sure. So, like without a doubt, I'm gonna watch Tesla. I got too much going on this chart. So let me delete these boxes and I can find these boxes again. But I got too much going on for AMD chart. AMD looks nice too. AMD looks like a free fall to 250. This might be a better trade than Nvidia. Sometimes the hardest part is picking stocks because you want to make sure you pick the right ones and you're not picking the ones that's going to give you choppy action. Because Qualcomm had earnings, and I'm not going to trade Qualcomm. I don't think that is a good stock to trade. I've never traded it, so I'm over here talking because I've never traded it. But it's just certain tickers. It's just not good to trade. Yeah, like just like it went up crazy yesterday though. But previous days, just look at its like aftermarket activity, So I don't think this is going to be a solid one to trade. Uh, let's go with between Nvidia and AMD. Really can't go wrong. Not gonna lie, you just can't go wrong. I'm gonna go with AMD though. I'm gonna go with AMD. I think AMD can provide a little bit of a better opportunity. Um, since just we had earnings this week as well. So let's go ahead and mark this up. 259.65 is yesterday's high. See. One second. Let me look at the order book for each. So AMD has a good amount of buyers. But sellers are active. Oh, Nvidia has a lot more activity. Okay, yeah, let's change this. It's a good thing to look at the. It's a good thing to look at the order book. Okay, we're gonna go to Nvidia. Yesterday's low on Nvidia was 194.65. So let's mark that. 194.65. All right. Then yesterday's high was 202.92. Okay. Let's delete this box. I can always find another one. All right. Pre-market highs and lows is right here. 198.54. The low is 196. Okay. So we got about what, a $2 stretch. 196, 198, almost like a $3 move. Okay. All right. And then we got some key levels. So some key levels to identify. So we got a key level here. Sorry for moving my daily chart so fast. But we got this key level right here where we have some rejection. Right here to the penny at 195.61, and we are trading above this key level. All right. We can see here on the daily that Nvidia is rolling over the 9, kind of aiming for the 20-day moving average, which is at 192.70. So this thing can take that drop to 192.70. We almost got there in the later hours of yesterday. So not sure if this is really going to play a huge factor. All right. We do have some support down here as well. So let's go ahead and put a little box here. I'm going to get to the higher time frames, but the reason why I'm saying this is just go ahead and look at this. And this is just for today. That's why I say I can always find another box. There's always places where you can find like double support, triple support. You just really have to look though. All right. So you can see here how we bounced here a few times. We fell, but in the after hours, we went ahead and held this support here 2 times. Just look at the 5-minute. A wick right here bounced. A wick right there bounced. Then we got above bounce. Came up to this high volume area. Well, I don't know what this high volume area is. This is probably from a previous day. And that's crazy how other past day levels plays a factor. Got here to the penny, fell, right? Double bottomed again, went up. So, had some resistance here a little bit, but nonetheless, we are trading above this support zone, right? And this is currently pre-market low. Let's find the high volume candle for today's session. Oh, we got 1 million shares traded right here. So let's move this up. 1 million shares traded at 197.62. Then we ended up taking a dump after this. Oh, gotta sneeze. Alrighty. All right. Okay. So yeah, we went ahead taking a dump after that. So let's see what happens with this one when we go on the monthly chart. Yeah, I'm looking at POTR. POTR starting to fall. All right, I'm looking at. I see that on my other screen. All right, we can see here on the video we are getting a turnaround, and the thing about some of these shorts now, right, is that Michael Berry, I think that's his last name. If you guys watched the movie The Big Short, he put out some news that he's basically shorting all semiconductors, all AI stocks. So PLCR, he put like 5 million in there. He's shorting Nvidia going into earnings. So he's shorting a lot of these names. And that could lead to some market scarcity. Michael Berry is the guy who made a lot of freaking money during the housing crash, and he called it. It just took a while for the market to respond. So he's a value person when it comes to the trading world, the stock world. So, that could lead to some market sell off, or, shorts getting squeezed too, So, gotta, stay keen to the news at all times, man. You know. So going to the monthly, we can start to see that Nvidia is still above all moving averages, but we are getting some red on the screen, and we could probably push down. It seems like Nvidia is trying to come down to this 175 area at some point. I don't think that'll be today. Come on, that's like a $20 drop, but it does appear that price is trying to push down there. Let's see on the weekly, strong sell-offs, just strong sell-off on Nvidia. Just look at that, man. That's a strong sell candle. All right, still above moving averages. We could easily get some reversals, and price could easily go back up. But it's some strong sell candles on the daily chart. Once again, strong sell candle still trading, but it is trading between the highs and lows of yesterday's activity. And then, as I mentioned, I have this box here where we do have some support down here. So we have to watch out for the support that's below. But nonetheless, price action could very well continue downward, and we could probably push to this 20-day moving average. All right, which is at 192. I'm gonna say really 193. Okay, this is 192.74. So we could test this 193, and honestly, it could bounce, and that could be the move that you want to take from 193 to 197. If you want to take it back up to this pivot level. So I think to wait for the dip today could be also a good opportunity as well. Going to the 4-hour chart. It's crazy. I drew this line here, but look how this line plays a factor into previous resistance. You see this 4-hour chart? And that's crazy. Just completely crazy. You see how we got resistance? Now this can be support. This 195 zone could be support. So it's just something to account for. So that's why it's important to find these levels. So I really don't have to look too hard there. We can see here on Nvidia, we did go ahead and double top. Let's go ahead and draw this box right here, which I already had this box anyway. But we went ahead and double top. Just see how we came here, rejected, came back up there, rejected. Okay. All right, so we double top there. But the thing about Nvidia, we are below almost all moving averages. Besides the 200, 50, 9, 20, and VWeb, we're below all of that. But we do have some support here that we have to account for. We got to watch out for. We could go ahead and smoke these to buyers that are here. We see these wicks, so these buyers could still be in. And this thing can literally fall below 193, and we could get that pushed to the 200-day to 190. So we have to watch out for that. We could get this to 190, 189. Funny enough, this was my target on AMD to go ahead and take it to 189 if I was going to go ahead and short it. So, we might get that move today if this thing goes towards the short side. So I'm going to mark this 190, and then I'm also going to mark up 189 because that would be the stopping point for NVIDIA stock. So we got some targets at 190 and 189 towards the downside. And then, all right, just got to watch out for the support. If we end up breaking the support, end up breaking previous day's low, then this will honestly be a good trade. It's honestly going to be a good trade towards the downside. We need to watch out for all levels. Okay, there's also a level right here, and this thing can easily go ahead and buy up. So we even got a level at 194, so we have to watch out for that. All right, on the 1 hour chart, we're pretty solid, still below all moving averages, but you can see this kind of support zone, so we gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention to everything we see here. All right. I probably don't have enough time to really go through Tesla because the market's about to open up in 3 minutes. But let's see. Nvidia is on the list for sure. For sure. We got Nvidia on the list. All right. And then lastly, we're going to go to Tesla. We don't want to watch all semiconductors like that. Tesla, let me be quick with this. Highs and lows. This won't be an in-depth analysis on this because market is about to open. So highs and lows, 466. Low is somewhere around here. So let me go to the 5-minute chart. All right, 466.33. Low is 440.71. Okay. Pre-market high right here. Pre-market low right there. Yeah, I can't even tell which one's the pre-market low. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, we got that. We could delete this yellow line. Then we have high volume candle. Let's be quick. Wow, I'm not even seeing a real high volume candle on Tesla. Oh, yep, 496 shares traded right here. Boom. Okay. We are trading below all moving averages besides the 200 because we just got back above the 200. Can't lie, Tesla looks like it wants to go higher today. I don't think people want that thing to go short. The daily looks pretty strong, still trading below the highs and lows of the previous day. So Tesla's on the list for sure. So Tesla, cool. Yeah, and then looking at the order book, there's a lot more buyers than sellers. Alrighty. So market's about to open up. Let's see what's cooking. We got Hood, Nvidia, and Tesla. We're going to stay patient as always. SPA's falling. Tesla has a lot of sellers too, but also has a lot of buyers as well. So we're going to see what Tesla does. All right, so market is open. Remember, we're going to stay patient. We're not going to go ahead and rush. Let's give it some time. Let's read the market. Hood is coming right into the support zone. Nvidia is coming inside the support zone. Tesla is selling off. I like the sell-off I'm seeing on Hood right now. Remember, there was a large seller that had 30K at 144. So just not jumping into anything too soon. Allow the market rush to do its thing. Right now, Hood is in S levels. Tesla is selling. Tesla is selling off, but Nvidia is also dropping. Yeah, because I made the mistake the other day of just I think I had too much of a hot hand, and I just was getting in my trades too soon. So today I'm not gonna go ahead and make that mistake. Hood is still selling off. Hood seems like it wants to get to yesterday's low, but we do have an S2 level here on the 2-minute chart. Nvidia is starting to bounce. Nvidia is still below moving averages, but it is above the VWAP. All right. All right, let's see what's going on the order book. Buyers are starting to step up again. Yeah, just look at just look at Nvidia starting to pop. Nvidia might run into some resistance though at 197, so we gotta watch out for that. I like this on Nvidia. And that's why you don't want to just take that short, you know what I mean? Because look how we're getting that reversal. That's why patience is key. I'm watching Hood mainly though. I'm not, but Nvidia looks solid, man. Let me see what's going on with Nvidia. We got some sellers at 198. That's a strong candle on Nvidia. I like that. Nvidia starting to stabilize a little bit. Buys are picking up on Hood. This is a support zone. I'd like to see if we could get back into pre-market zone. Oh yeah, like I said, I do like Nvidia right now. It's just Nvidia is running into resistance, so that's why I'm not jumping in on the buy just yet. I'm looking at Hood's order book. Okay. We're gonna jump into Nvidia probably. Probably. Hood is starting to see some resistance. But I did say there are sellers up here. So that's why I didn't jump into Nvidia, but Nvidia is looking nice. Hood is also still looking nice because it is in a support zone. See how Nvidia got to the 200 and just started to reject. You're Grayson, what's up, bro? All right. I'm just taking my time right now in the markets. Taking my time. I like the rejection we got on the Nvidia, which I said it was gonna hit some. All right, it's time to go short actually. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's why we go in smart size. Nvidia, okay. We're gonna go for 197 put. Hold up. Gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. Because right now we're at pre-market lows. This thing going to bounce. All right. Yep, is it going to bounce? Hood is dropping. Hood is below. Yep, so that's why I didn't jump in just yet. I like the fact that Hood is below this support. I'm gonna go short on Hood at a 137 put. I just got in that. I just got in on that. Okay, Stop order is in. Seems like we're gonna get to S3 levels. I'm already up $48. See, that's fast. All right, let's go to Hood's order book. I would love to add to this trade. I'm gonna give that time to play out. And I don't want to add just yet. Always be careful when you add into your trades. Don't be in a rush. I did that mistake on Tuesday, and I got, like I said, smoked. So that's why I'm playing today careful. And then two, adding into it, I added too much. I added way too much. Now, what I'm looking for on Hood is that I'm looking for Hood to break yesterday's low. And if we could break yesterday's low, then that would be a good trade. Because if it could break yesterday's low and that S3 level on the 2-minute chart, then yeah, I could take this thing. Maybe to 130. Have $100 stop, so the most I can lose in that trade is $100. You see how NVIDIA is starting to pick up again? But we got to watch out because on the daily, we got a pivot level there, and that could be some clear resistance. It's a slow market today. Hood is starting to pick up a little bit. NVIDIA's order book is nice. Where we at price-wise? I might go long on NVIDIA now. Let me just get some more confirmation. Are these bids going to continue to step up? I'm looking at the level 2. The bids are stepping up. Slightly. Nothing crazy. Yeah, man, they're weak. Yeah, look at that. We got up there and got quick rejection, but this 5-minute is still kind of strong. So yeah, like we don't got a clear decision on where we want to go just yet. Oh, yeah, look at Hood. It's dropping. Hood is dropping. It's still not time to add though. Like I said, I like the fact that Hood is below this support, so we could head lower. Let's see. I'm looking to add a little bit into Hood. Like I said, it's literally at yesterday's low, so I don't know if it's going to hold there. Okay, cool. I'm going to add probably 2 contracts. Let me see. I don't want to be too jumpy just yet. All right. Just added 2 more contracts. And I'm going to chill for right now. But I just added 2 more contracts to see if we could break through previous day's low on Hood. We got some orders at 135. Okay, we're up $139 right now. And this is what I mean by being patient. I could still lose on this trade because We got some support here. Like I said, I want us to see us break this. Nice. Nice. So now this is where things get a little sketchy. Because buyers could step up right here at this S3. That's why I said this is where things get a little sketchy. And that's why I don't want to go in so heavy. It looks weak though. I may add another 3 contracts and then call it. I'm not going to add any more. Oh yeah, the bids is just holding. Nice. Gotta wait though. Gotta wait. Yeah, just look at Nvidia. That was a nice drop on Nvidia too. SPA's dropping. Right. Added in another 3 contracts. All right. My goal is to take it to this 200 on the options chart to 522. That's my goal. I'm up 250 right now. I'm up 310 right now. There we go. Yeah, we're getting that push. Yeah, come on. At least 132. That would be a nice goal of mine if I could take this thing to 132. Yeah, so I said like this is where things get a little shaky. Just a little shaky. Still gonna hold it because we're below S levels, so I'm still gonna hold it. It's tough right now. It's gonna be tough because buyers could step up right here. I want this thing to get down to 132, at least 132, at least. I'm gonna hold on to this trade. I don't gotta go in any more size than this. It appears like it wants to get lower. Because they're shorting it. Yeah, like they're shorting this thing. But I don't know. Because we stopped at 134.19. I think we could get into the 133s. Once we get into 133s, I'm going to start to peel off. This trade might go red on me a bit. Yep. It's going red on me. We got a lot of space for this thing to go towards the top side now, though. That's what I said. Sometimes you get slippage, but it doesn't mean anything. Come on. The daily looks strong for a continuation towards the downside. Like I said, I don't have to go in any more size than this. That was the mistake I made on Tuesday. Just overplaying my hand. Okay, we should be able to get lower because that momentum is there. I could just see it within the candle. But yeah, the buyers are coming back. Come on. Sometimes it's just about being patient. Letting the trade work out in your favor. Uh, and if you guys see my options chart, I'm gonna extend it. This is where I'm trying to take it to 529. That's my target. But I don't think we want to get there. Yeah, because look at Nvidia's coming back, SPY's coming back. Still holding the trade. Their buys are starting to pick up. Down 200, down 230. Yep, down 3. Down 4. Still holding on. Why am I holding on to this trade? Like I said, I could just see the weakness on the candles. Chart placement, we're below all moving averages. We're in S territory, and we've aggressively fell down, like aggressively. So I think the sellers are still there. It's just we don't go straight down. So if this thing does get above, this S2, I'll probably call it, and I might be that'll be my max loss for the day. Then I'm done. I'll just take the alpha today. Like I said, this thing looks extremely weak though. It does not look strong at all. But that's why I say account for all levels. Do not disregard any level. Account for all levels. Because these levels could hold some support. And it's weird because it would be like, oh my gosh, like it's going to drop. But any level could hold support. Any level. Yeah, just look at what NVIDIA is doing. I would like to see Hood follow the same suit. I know Hood is not NVIDIA, but this is just the overall market. SPY is dropping right now as well. We just need Hood to follow suit. Let's look at other time frames. You see how we even got a level here at 132, and I literally said it's 132. I literally said on the hour chart we have 132. On the 30-minute we have 132. So once we get to 132.46, I'm gonna piece off at 133 just to lock in some gains. So we definitely can get to around 133, close to 132. Sometimes these stocks don't go right to the penny. So half my position is gonna come off once we get near around 133, 132. There we go. I'm back in the green. There we go. We're breaking the previous low. Watch. Go ahead and look at this time in sales. 134 and a quarter. Yep. We're gonna get 133 possibly. Come on. Already got my hand on the trigger button to sell some. Let me just sell 2 at a time. Let me not be so aggressive. There we go. I'm up 400. Sell 2. Come on now. Grab that order. There we go. Nice. I already took some money off the table. Patience. That's it. That's the name of the game, patience. I'm going to take another 2 off. I want to wait till we get to about $5 on my options chart, but like I said, I can't be too greedy. Oops. There we go. Come on. Yep, 510. Take 2 off. Come on now. All right, yeah. It's starting to get a little bit exhausted right here. Trying to sell, because I like to sell at the ask. All right, I got 2 contracts left. I've already locked in $306. Yeah, so I'm done for the day. Now we're just gonna let this one contract go ahead and do its thing. Oh wait, I got 2 contracts left, so I'm gonna let these 2 contracts go ahead and do its thing. I'm even gonna take just 1 off for protection, possibly. I want to take it down to one. I want to take it to 132, but I got $147 in change. I could leave it, to be honest, but I don't know, because I don't got a candle that's letting me know just yet that it wants to reverse. But nonetheless, I locked in today. I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Just not letting the trade freak you out, man. The pullback was warranted, you know what I mean? That pullback was gonna happen. So, I just didn't let the pullback shake me out. But yeah, I'm done for the day. See, I'm getting real close to my target. There we go. I could take up to 1 off now, because I'm so close to this target. It's all right. Yep, took 1 off. I got 1 contract to go. And we're going to put a stop order in. So I'm going to put my target at about 570. And then we're going to have a sell order right here. Confirm. Oh, yeah. You're not going to let me go ahead and do that. So, yeah. Target would be 570, 408. Yo, come on now. Sometimes to put your stop loss on to people could be annoying, because they want you to put it like OD low. Like, I don't want to put it that low. All right, 408. Fine. You want me to do 408? I mean, 405. Can I do 408? I can't do this? Yeah. I knew I could. Alrighty. Yeah, man, we locked in. Currently made 432 today. If I could sell this contract at my target, I'd probably be up like $600 on the day. Yeah. I told you it was gonna go to 132, and I didn't even look at the hour chart before I said that. Didn't even look at the hour chart. Oh, yeah, my target's gonna get hit. Yeah, and I'm all done. You see how I hit my target? Yep, I'm all done. I'm out for the day. Made $594. Made $600 today. Cool. Yeah, appreciate that, Josh. Great trade. And I said, and I literally said just 132. If it gets to 131 and 130, I don't care. Do not care. I do not care. Let it, don't care about it. Like, see if the stock keeps going and it runs, just don't really care about it. get your small wins enough to get your big wins. You know what I mean? So what I mean by that is that we play this game only to go ahead and make as much as we can. We're gonna take some losses. We're gonna have some wins, but then after that, right? Like after that, there's like you want to make sure you protect those gains because you might run into a trade where you might need to take a swing position. And I know I said if you have a day trading account, keep it as a day trading account. Don't do it as a swing. But what I mean by that is just some trades it's like you have to take. So say for example, if you see on the daily chart and you've been trading for about two or 3 months, and you see a stock cross the 200-day, and this is just my strategy, right? So you guys are gonna find your own, and this thing crosses the 200-day, and you make quite a bit of money. Yo, it's time to really hit for a home run, and you could put a swing position on Tesla, for example, once it crosses the 200 on the daily chart, and then you want to kick out that option, maybe let's say 3 months out, right? So say like I made $3,000. I made $3,000 last month, right? So then now I will buy an option worth maybe $2,000 that I could extend all the way out to maybe let's say 2 months if I'm able to. You buy that option for $2,000, kick it out 2 months, and you could get a move from 291 to let's just say 394. And this is really where you make your money. So now that 2,000 just printed you about $7,000, 8,000. So like we make the small money to make the big money. So that's what I mean by that. All right. But nonetheless, man, a great trade. It's starting to go down even lower. I could have, I could have probably, put my target a little higher, but to maybe 6. I put it to 570, but you never know when you're gonna get those pullbacks. Those pullbacks are vicious. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, $600 in 26 minutes, man. I'm all done. Like I'm telling you, what I did on Tuesday was I traded PLTR. I'll show you guys what I did Tuesday. And be careful when you got a hot hand and you've been making money. Be extremely, extremely careful because your behavior start to change. And what happened on PLTR was I got caught on this day. So we had this earnings call. This thing went ahead and sold off. So, and I had my targets and everything like that. And I got in, because you guys know I don't go live on Tuesdays because I go into the office. So this thing, I got in $100, right? Well, I put in one contract and I made $100 like so fast. So in my mind, I said, oh, this thing is about to sell off. So once we pulled back to right around here, 188, I added 10 contracts. So I was in 11 contracts deep. This is just me being honest with you guys. I'm in 11 contracts deep. This thing comes to this candle, and from 186, this thing flies up to 195. Man, everything that I made, and if you guys watch other YouTubers, when they tell you you can lose all of your gains in one trade, legit you can, and I'm telling you guys proof of that, because that's what happened to me. Everything I made in the month of October, I lost in just about 15 minutes, because I went in too large of a size. My size was way too large, so this thing popped all the way back up. I'm down like $3,000. I was like, oh shit, like damn, I gotta start all over again. But what made me hold on to this trade, till the next day, market sentiment, we were getting pullbacks, and this was the 200-day moving average. You see, I make this a green line for a reason. Like this line is green for a reason. And I said, okay, if this thing breaks this 200, I have to get out. Like I have to get out. But that's a strong ass moving average. And it didn't break it, and it fell down so harsh. I was even okay with taking a $1,500 loss, because every time it got like around here, I was down like $2,000. I was even okay with losing $2,000 because I made $3,000. So to lose two, I could fight my way back and get that money back. But I said, nah, man, this thing is is gonna sell off, and you can see once we got here, we never looked back. So I held on to the trade. And I had a target here at 180, and after hours it got to my target. But in options you can't sell. So the very next day came, and when the very next day came, I said, so a price action is probably gonna want to test this area. And this thing popped up a little bit and then just sold straight down. It went straight down, popped up a little bit. It got to 181. I just got all out, and then I walked out with 680. I got back in this trade. Then I lost another $100 or so. So then I ended the day with 580 yesterday. So I didn't really day trade, but I had a swing because, like I said, the shit was just crazy, and I was like, nah, I gotta hold on to that. That's a bad habit though. Like this is a bad trade because the money I risked was not what I returned. I lost like three, almost 4,000 on this trade, and I only walked out with at this point I only walked out with about 580, 680 to be exact. That's a terrible, terrible trade. So then you might hear traders say like, I made money on a bad trade. That's an example of I made money on a bad trade, and that was bad because of my position size. You know what I mean? I got a little bit over my head. I went in too large of a size, and it's crazy. If I would have taken my time and traded this appropriately, I should have gotten out the trade once this thing crossed and got above VWAP, then added in one contract, catch a feel for it, look at the order book, see the time and sales, see how everything is moving, add maybe two contracts. It starts to push up. Then once we start to see that we're gonna break these levels, seeing the momentum, then I could add another 6, 8 contracts, and this could have printed me $2,000. That's an appropriate way to trade, not the trade that I did with 1 and then 10. That is insane, insane. So that was bad on my part. So I had to get my head together, and you guys see how I went ahead and traded Hood. And let's go to Hood's chart, where and Hood is still falling. Yep, Hood is at 130. And then now you see where I traded Hood, and Hood just clearly just went straight down. But I gently added into my position. One contract, okay? Getting some more confirmation. 2 contracts. Now I'm in 3 deep. Okay, now we getting to push. We're below yesterday's low. Then now I think we have enough momentum to push through S1 and be inside some S levels. Added another 3 contracts. Then now I got that push, made 600. That is a way better trade, and got out at my targets. So that's a way better trade than what I did on Tuesday. And just be on alert that you guys can make the same mistake, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to, like, all traders do it. Every single trader does it. Like, no one is exempt from making these mistakes, man. Nobody. All right. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yo, when you get ready to jump in, man, just what I mean, still come on the stream, but also go ahead and build your own strategy too. And just stay calm, man. Stay calm. I know it's money, so we get, like antsy about it. We get a little freaked out about it. Like, yo, I got money on the table. I don't want to lose no money. Like I know, bro. But it is just money, so you gotta push yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta push yourself. You can't get too greedy. Like, just think about it, right? I could sit here and soap and be like, okay, I got out of my position at 570. Maybe my stop, maybe my exit was too short, and maybe I should have extended it a little bit more. But I had a level right here at R1. I don't know. The thing about it is that you don't know how far these prices are gonna go. You really don't know that. So just get what you can out of it and come back the next day and wait for those bigger moves, like I mentioned on the daily chart, where then now you can, like you should take that swing trade. Then you should then take that swing trade and put a good chunk of the profit you made into that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I had no idea it's going to get there because on the 1-hour chart, right, we had a level right here at 132. I have a key level right here at 130. So I probably should have leaned more towards my key level that's on the daily chart. But at the same time, I want to lock in profit. I want to sleep at night. You know what I mean? Like when I was in that trade on PLTR that I just showed you guys, I did not sleep. I didn't sleep. Like I had the worst. I had the worst night's rest because I had so much on the line. Like, what if the market would have gapped up? And mind you, I'm short. I would have got annihilated. So it's the same thing when you day trading. You want to feel good about your position. And right now, with the way Hood is going, I could honestly go long now. So I could say forget about the short. Now I could maybe take this long, and that should be the next trade I'm looking for. I shouldn't be thinking about a short trade. I should be thinking about a long trade, right? Because and the reason why I'm saying thinking about long because we got to my key level right here at 130. We got this wick, so we're starting to turn around. This is a doji candle, and always understand and know what these candles mean. This candle means an indecision, and it. Sorry, I had to burp. Sorry, but and it also means this could be a sign of a reversal. So we can get a reversal trade, and this thing can push up. So I wouldn't mind taking this thing long at some point, but maybe just maybe this thing might come down to maybe S2 a little bit, touch on this level, and then push higher because I want you guys to take a look. Now we got space. We got all of this space where price action could come right back up to 134. So if we could go ahead and grab this move, this is what 131 to 134. You're talking about almost a 250 move, a $2.50 move on one contract. That's an extra $250. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So definitely, just trade smart. You know what I mean? Don't get too greedy. You know, make as much as you can. And that was on that trade, right? I didn't over leverage my position. I didn't put my whole account in there. I didn't send all my soldiers out there to go ahead and fight for me. I only send out 6 soldiers. I could have sent out 15 soldiers, 20 soldiers. I could have. But that would have been not, this is just not proper risk management. You know, I only sent out about 6 soldiers to get me 6. Just think about it. That's 100% gain. I put in 6 contracts to get $600. You know what I'm saying? So that's 100% gain right there. And mind you, I was piecing off as we started to go higher. You know, I could have even got a 200% gain, you know, a 150% gain, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like, who cares about that? So now I'll be looking for a reversal trade, possibly. Maybe we have a continuation on the short side, right? So let's get a clear look at the daily chart and let's see. Oh man, just look at that, man. This thing came down all the way to the 50-day moving average on the daily chart. That's key. So now we should get a reversal. But also we have a S1 level. So we got to watch out for sellers continuing to push price down to this S1 because it is possible this thing could get to one. It is possible it could get to 127. Absolutely possible. Right? So you could get chopped up right here. And then right now on the East Coast, it is 10:09. We get reversals at 10:30. Sometimes some people don't know that. We could get 10:30 is when the market flips. Not every time, and it's not as clear, but most times that's when the market flips. Once we get to around the 11, 12 o'clock hour, it's lunchtime. So the market is a bit dead. So now, you know, you're trading in a channel for the most part. It's not a bad way to trade, but you could take things from basically support to resistance the whole entire time. So also know the time frames of the market. Like early on in the mornings from 9:30 to about 10:30, it's all momentum. Maybe a little bit of trend trading. You know what I mean? All right, so we got this thing going up now. I like it. I like it. I like this reversal. I'm gonna go in one contract. Just one contract. Set my stop to about what 320. I'm at. So let's go 220. All right. I'm already up $25. There we go. Let's go on a 5 minute. Once we get right around here to 134, I'm selling it. Because now we could get this reversal. Like as soon as we get there, I'm out. Yeah, so S2 is pivot levels. So it's Camarilla pivot points. So the orange lines that you see, those are lines that are already integrated into the chart. So those are previous key levels from past trading events. So I don't even find those levels. Those levels are already there. Where we at on this trade? About $8 up, $12 up. I'm still gonna hold it. Still gonna hold it till we could get to about VWAP to 134. I'm not looking to make much on that trade. Maybe about 50, $60. And obviously, right, I made money on the day, so I'm not gonna try to go heavy like that. All right, starting to get some rejection. I'm risking $100 on this trade. Yes, sir. All right, this thing's starting to pull back. I probably won't even risk 100. I probably risk like $50. Probably won't even risk that. Like as soon as I lose 50, I'll just get out. There's no need to lose $100. Like between like 50 and 70, I don't want to lose 100. But I do have a stop order in just in case I don't sell. You see, like just in case, like I like to use stop orders because of behavior. You know what I mean? Just to know, because I'm already saying I'm gonna lose 50 to 70. You know, but if I don't get out, then I have an order in place already, and that's cool. I see how we started to push up, and then we getting some resistance, starting to fold a little bit. But I still would like to see this thing push to at least get near 134. And once we get near there, like I said, I'm gonna get out. Just gotta hold it. And the point of trading is to take things to certain levels, certain moving averages. Like you want to take things to certain points. So that's what I'm doing. You know, and on the daily, I clearly see that we bounced off of the 50 day. So that's really what even pushed me to even get inside this, because I showed you guys the daily chart. I'm gonna expand this chart right here. This purple line is the 50-day moving average. That's a strong moving average, especially on the daily chart. So we might get like a little reversal, like a little push up. This ain't nothing. You know, we just came up from 131 to 133. You know, it ain't nothing. So, you know, we could probably get like a higher push. If not, perfectly fine. Just go ahead and get out the trade. All right, we got some strong sellers coming in right now. So we might get a continued down move, which I mentioned, that this thing can get to 127. Okay. About to get out the trade, actually. Like I said, I don't have to lose $100. Oh, trying to see if we're going to get a spike up, but probably not. Because we got to the 9 and instantly started to just turn around. Trying to see if buyers are going to step up. Don't think so, though. All right. I'm getting out. And I'm out. It didn't work. It didn't work. Oh, wow. How much did I lose on that trade? Because now I'm at 274. I felt like that's weird. Okay, okay. About to say that was weird. It's 496. I was like, why am I down 274? I was like, okay, no, it's 496. It's 496 on the day. I only lost $100. All right. Yeah, I might call it here, guys. I don't want to go ahead and force it. See how I made a quick little $30 right there, but then we went ahead and reversed, and now this thing's starting to pick up again. This is what I mean that you could get caught up in chop now. If anything, I would like a continued down move, and to probably get to this S1 level on the daily chart. But we went ahead and we're showing a little bit of a double bottom. Like we're showing that this key level that I have here is support. Your daily chart, that one sets you up for success. And you see why this key level is so important? If we was to go ahead and see the daily, and let me just go ahead and move this screen out. This thing was riding up, riding up. We got to this point, rejected, and this candle had to break through this candle because once we broke through this level, then we got to all-time highs at 153. You know what I mean? So that's why this level is extremely important. I may jump back in for the call. But I don't know yet. Because I feel like the odds is against this stock right now. Yeah, the market's a bit slow right now. It's a bit slow. It's going to be a bit choppy. Now, this is where you could lose profits. Gotta be careful. I like Tesla. Definitely like Tesla. Let's check out Tesla's chart right now. Oh, that's T. That is not Tesla. See how we're getting there? We got this ladder up. I like this move to 134. Let's try this trade one more time. I don't know. I'm just being cautious. If I wasn't being cautious, I'd just jump in the trade. But I'm really just being cautious right now. I like Tesla for a reversal. I like this with this candle and this push. I'm gonna go Tesla long. Where price it be at? We're gonna go with the 4. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tesla long. Let's see. Hold up. Okay, I'm in on Tesla long. This could be a bad trade, could be a good trade. You guys are seeing the P&Ls right there. I want to take Tesla right here to 455. And I like it because of this candle, this little indecision for a move higher just to get to 455. Come on, Tesla. Not- Nothing crazy. Just a little small reversal trade. Nothing crazy. Oh, got there and just quickly sold. Come on. You know you want to. Come on, Tesla. You know you want to. There we go, Tesla. Come on. 455. We just want to get the 455. There we go. There we go. It's time to sell it. It's about to be that time. Come on, Tesla. I'm already at 455, but I'm trying to take it to the moving average. Quarter. Come on. All right, yeah, I'm all out. Oh, I can't sell. It's not letting me sell it. Oh, yeah, I'm all out. See, and I lost 100 on that trade and made $50 on this trade. That's cool. So I just made back just some losses. That was my goal anyway. I wanted to hold it to 456, but I was like, Tesla's it's a crazy one. So I didn't want to go ahead and push that gas like that. But nice trade on that. And I basically got on that trade because of this candle. Then I saw this, we had some space here to get to close to about 456. I could have held it. Like I said, I got money on the day. So, I'm not trying to press it too hard like that. But nonetheless, I'm closing out the day, $544, closing out the day. Nice. It's a nice week of trading for me already. Damn, probably should have held on to Tesla. Yeah, I could have held on to that because I had targets. I could have held on to that, but I was a bit freaked out. You see how we got up there and instantly sold, and it was really hard for me to sell at the ask. That's why I didn't hold it because I had a feeling because sometimes it's hard to get out. Remember, I sell at the ask. Most people sell at the bid, so I like to sell at the ask because I get like majority of the money. When you sell at the bid, you actually lose money. Well, you don't lose money, but you don't get like the full move. Like if we're looking at this option sheet on a hood right here, you see if I sell at the ask, so let's say I bought it at 250, and I sell at the ask, I'm selling it at 320. But if you sell at the bid, you're selling it at $3. So I'm getting an extra 15 cents on my contract, an extra 10 cents, 5 cents on my contract when I sell at the ask. So, but I have, and maybe I could go over this on another video, but what I have is that I sell at the ask minus 5 cents. So to sell directly at the ask, my order would never get filled. But I sell at the ask and I take 5 cents off. So instead of it being 320, I sell it at 315. If you sell at the bid, you could easily just go ahead and sell at the bid. So I sell at the bid, you can sell it at, now that that's moving, you can sell it at 305, or I have set at the bid minus 3 cents. And that's to make sure your order gets filled because you can see sometimes your order does not get filled. So I want my order to get filled. So I like to sell at the ask and I take 5 cents off. A good chunk of the time with mega caps, I get filled. So I don't really sweat it, but I get filled a good chunk of the time. So nonetheless, we made some money today. I'm going to go to my work meeting right about now. Appreciate you guys for joining. Great market. And then we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow again on Friday. I see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow's Friday. Fridays in the markets can be a bit slow. And just look at the hood. Hood is starting to creep up to that 134. Like I said, I probably just got in too early. That's it. I just probably got in too early. And then just look at what Tesla's doing. You see why I just went in for a quick scalp? It was just a little quick scalp just to make some of the money back I lost on hood. And you see how it got up and now we're selling off again? Yeah. So Be careful, and this does not mean to short. This means that we could just be inside this consolidation, and this thing can still shoot higher, go back to 460, or maybe get below 450. This is gonna give some chop now. Nothing's gonna be clean at this point in time. So, I think a lot of people already made their money. Just look at Nvidia too, right? It's just chop. It's wicks all over the place. So, like you're not really gonna make too much money at this point, because the whole entire move already happened for the entire stock market. All right. So I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you guys for joining. Be back at it. Peace.